Good morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing good, B. How are you?
Good. Did you find that strawberry shortcake last night?
I found one. It was pretty good. I was just craving a strawberry shortcake, so I thought I needed to get one.
Where did you go get one last night?
I had one. Huh?
Where did you go get it?
We ended up going to Baumhauer's.
Oh, Baumhauer for the strawberries. There you go. All right. Before we talk Alabama basketball, Dad is getting ready to go climb on a plane with Jimmy Rain, Ray Goff, Pat Dye, Cliff Ellis. They're going to pick up Gene Stallings over in Texas, and then they're flying over to Montana. They're going to do some fly fishing, hiking, and horseback riding. Can you imagine Wimp Sanders and fly fishing, riding a horse, and hiking? Would you like to be a fly on the wall out in Montana watching those goobers out there?
I would like to be a fly on the wall. They might need a paramedic with them.
That's what I told him. I said, it's a nurse. Ray Goff said they were taking two planes. They had one flying all day, and the other was flying the medication. They were following each other. So, anyway, I don't think he doesn't know how to bait the hook. How many fish you think he'll catch fly fishing? We got the over-under set at 3. You going over or under how many fish he'll catch?
I'm worried about them catching each other. I'm going to go under.
Under, yeah, that's what James said. So you guys don't have much faith in Wimps.
They may jump in the boat.
Fly fishing, though, you got to have patience to fly fish. You're not going to give him and patience is not one of his strengths. He's got some strengths, but patience is not one of them. All right, Jim, let's talk Alabama basketball. First time you've been around this new staff. Obviously, Petway's been there. We all know Petway. I think he played with you. He's been there so long. But you called me the other night. You got a chance to watch this team work out. Just tell me what you saw. I put it out on Twitter that you said it was the hardest practice you had ever seen. And this is the summer. Tell us what you saw when you went and watched them work out.
Well, I think it's one of the hardest practices I've seen at Alabama, no doubt. I just loved what he was doing. I love the fact every drill they did was full court. Everything they implemented was a full court drill to continue to work on conditioning and pushing the ball. And they're going to get up down the floor. They're playing really hard. They're going at each other. And the other interesting thing is that everything was about winning and losing. Every drill they did had a winner or a loser, everything, and there was a consequence. So, and even if you won the drill or won the 3-on-3 or whatever they were doing, it wasn't over with. You had one of your players had to go up and knock down a free throw, or there was a consequence. And usually, just push-ups or down and backs or whatever. But I just love the fact that everything was about winning and everything had a winner and a loser, and then there was a consequence if you lost. And so, I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen. I just like the guys going hard at each other, and I think watching yesterday, I was interested to see Coach Oats went home to help his wife and family. They haven't moved here yet, I believe, so he wasn't there. So sometimes when the head man's not there, you have a tendency to maybe slack off a little bit, and I think they went even harder at each other. There's some attitudes going on, some just the competing. It was really, really good to see.
A lot of new names out there. I don't know if you know the numbers and names. A lot of new kids. I look at them. I don't even know them all. You got the kid from Quinterly that's transferred from Villanova. They're hoping to get him immediately eligible. They don't know if they will. They've made the appeal. Beetle Bolden, I think, was there. The transfer from West Virginia the first time yesterday. You got 3 freshmen in there, or maybe more than that, 4 now, I guess, with the kid from Nevada. Just any of the new kids that maybe the fans don't know stand out to you in the last couple practices?
It was interesting in watching them. Each practice, one or two of the freshmen stood out. I mean, I think it's number 5, the kid Shackelford from California. He showed up with a junior or senior body on him. And he can flat out left-handed, can flat out shoot it, competes, plays hard. I think he's going to get a lot of minutes and play well. I mean, and then yesterday the kid from Mississippi shot the ball really well and did well, and so did the kid from South Carolina. So I'm and the kid from South Carolina's got a big body. They're already, looks like to me, they're ready to play compared to sometimes when you see freshmen come in, they're just not quite there yet, or the game's a little too fast for them. They need to slow it down. But these kids, you know, they came in, they looked the part. So we'll see how that goes. But you know, each day they played pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, you know, I think Nate Oats is a guy who talks about playing fast. He's proven it with the way Buffalo plays. You never knew with Avery because he never coached in college. A lot of times the NBA is more half-court set, those kind of things. But Nate Oats and his staff put a premium on shooting, and I think they even tell them if they want them shooting the ball deep. If they hit an NBA three, they get 4 points for that. I know they've spent a ton of time on just step-in threes because they like to penetrate, they like to kick. How have they shot the basketball in practice? Have you seen a lot of shooting drills? And will this team be a better shooting team? Hopefully it will than it was last year.
Yeah, no doubt. They're going to definitely be a lot better shooting than they were last year, and I think that's very that's the first thing I would say obvious wise is that they've got some really good shooters in here, and the guys who weren't shooting the ball well, you can tell they've worked, they've continued to work. But I think there's no doubt they're going to push the ball off the floor. They're going to kick out. They're going to drive and kick out for three, and they got the guys that can do it this year. And I think you're going to see a real exciting brand of football. Brand of basketball this year. It's amazing I'm in Alabama and I mentioned the word football. And I think the fans are going to really enjoy what the kind of style that we're going to play, and it's going to be I think they're going to do really well. As from what I've seen so far, it's early, but they look like they got some pieces. If I said anything that I would be worried about is maybe size-wise, we're not as big as some teams in the paint, but I think, you know, sometimes that's overrated. I think the way they're going to want to play, they're going to have 4 and 5 shooters on the floor at all times. So.
Well, the size, you know, if you're going to play 4 out, 5 out, you know, if you're playing teams that have a lot of size, and they're going to have to guard one of these quick guards off the dribble. If they shoot the ball as well as we hope they will, it'll be a difficult team to zone. So I think maybe with the size, you get the advantage on the offensive end, don't you? Maybe not on the defense end, but you get it because your guys should be quicker, should be able to get by those guys that creates open shots for your teammates.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly right. You said it goes both ways. We may be a little small and have more shooters out there, but if you got, you know, it's almost like that when I played small forward. I was too small to play small forward, but on the offensive side, that gave me such an advantage because you got a guy that's not used to guarding a guy that can shoot it as a guard, and so you can just compete defensively, play hard and compete, which that's what I've seen so far. These guys are doing, no doubt. Then you can make up for that, and then you definitely have the advantage on the offensive end. So I think that's part of the philosophy is you play a guy like an Alex Reese at the 5. Now he you know, against a lot of the SEC 5s, he'll struggle defensively, but if he'll just compete, you know, guys don't want to come out there and guard him. You know, some 6'10", 6'11" center doesn't know how to guard a guy who can shoot it out there. So that's the advantage of that, and I think, and then they're going to get up and down and run those guys. So, you know, the coaching wise, you have to make a decision playing Alabama. Are you going to put bigs out there that can't get up and down the floor and they can't guard the three, or are you going to have to go small and match up with them?
Coach Snowden's their new strength coach. They've showed clips. I think they've gone down to where Deontay Wilder trains, and they've been boxing. I think they wanted to get these kids in better condition, tougher. I remember you guys, I think, did that with Rocky Colburn. You went downstairs in the downstairs gym and boxed on your knees. Now, I think people look at that and say, boxing? What does that have to do with basketball? Why are these kids boxing? Explain to the listener how that helps a basketball player training for boxing.
Well, I'm not sure what the philosophy is behind it, but I will say this. I know that the two of the sports that you have to be in the best condition to do, one's wrestling and one's boxing, because you're constantly, you know, doing something. Your body's constantly moving. You're constantly got to be you're tensed up. You're working something, and so it's I'm sure that's a big part of conditioning.
I think it's to do with toughness as well. When things get tough, I mean, in boxing, you got to reach down, and in basketball, things get tough. I think they try to do it to develop some toughness, don't they, Jim?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of all that, but anything that you can do to get a little edge, I think that's interesting, and it will definitely help us.
Tell me about they're hoping to get Javon Quinterly eligible. I think they've got a pretty good case. He's a McDonald's All-American. He was at Villanova, battled some injuries, didn't have a great year there. They had some FBI stuff there, just need to clean slate. So he's come to Alabama. The little bit of clips I've seen of him, looks to be a good player. What have you seen with Quinterly?
Yeah, I've really kind of watched him these last 2 days. I'm really impressed by him. You can tell he's got a lot of herky jerky, a lot of moving. He gets it. He plays under control. Can certainly be a guy you could put out there at the 1 or 2, and that knows how to play. And so I'm from what I've seen, I'm pretty excited about him. I hope he can get eligible and that'll work out.
Well, Jim, we appreciate it as always, man. I know you got to get James. How's James doing at camp? How's he doing?
Well, if he can keep his mouth closed, he'll be doing good. He's competing and doing a little better. He's learning to pass the ball some, which we've been working on. But he's had a good time here and had a lot of fun.
Well, go get the trainer, have him give you some tape, and tape his mouth up, and that'll keep you closed.
That's what we need.